Bing. So Michael. Possibly thinking about Project Scope. I had this thing going on in my mind, which is called thoughts, which are saying to me, have I even got the Berkeley Project Scope one? They're saying to me that, is it paranoia? What did we call it? Did we call it Project Scope Berkeley or something? We've got it's MVP2 or CS169. That's what we called it.
CS169, yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Then I've got to work out where I would put the password. I think I have put the password in my LastPass system. Yes, I have. And that will let me paste it in it. Okay. Right. So, I mean, we kind of like, there's like a little package to send to Armando to say that we're done, which includes kind of like the password and the instance to say, right, here are your, I mean, I'm not going to be at the meeting tomorrow. So, I mean, Armando might just be sort of, you know, oh, we need this, we need it. So I guess it would be sort of, you know, it's sort of like showing like we're ahead of the game to kind of like send that over. Just looking at, I mean, this looks kind of fine. I guess the one thing we don't have from the other system is like they were color coding the lines based upon, you know, some subsetting of this score. Like these values here, the 4, 0.54, 0.17, are kind of, you know, it's a bit sort of messy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, we could be arguing that that's something that Armando's group of students will take care of if they really want color coding and so on. So more the thing that, you know, I put this scheduler in place. I haven't got any sense actually of whether it's working or it's just encountering errors in the background.
Okay.
I think I haven't put the scheduler in place for this particular app, which, no, I wanted this particular app. Did we end up? We got that. We
just expose the last updated time.
It does show the last updated time, but it doesn't tell you whether the process ran successfully or not.
Well, wait. What do you mean? It shows you the last updated time.
Yeah, no, we might not be talking about the same thing. Let me just go in here.
Oh, you mean inside of Heroku?
Yeah, I mean, so one oversight that I put the scheduler on like the staging instance, and I haven't put the scheduler on here. So this is one thing that we should like do. I guess the other thing. Oh, by the GitHub rolled out all these like loads of changes. Did you notice? It looks like they've got their own entire replacement for Waffle and everything. But yeah. We've basically done this, haven't we? And it's merged. It hasn't closed the issue for some reason. Let's close that issue because we've got that on everything. Okay. Okay. So going back to here. So now we've got the scheduler. And the scheduler needs to run this rake task. So we have the job, and it's this one. And so if I make this due in 15 minutes from now, we can save that. So that's set up. So that's good. If we go and look at, for example, Project Scope MVP staging, is that where I set it up? We have the Heroku scheduler there. That doesn't seem to have any jobs on it. I will add a job there for good measure. I thought I turned it on somewhere, and so I suspect where I turned it on was the main production system. Which we can have a look at, and it's there, and it has a job. Yeah, it tells us that it ran, but we don't know if it necessarily ran successfully. I guess that could be checked relatively simply by, if we go and look at here, Heroku logs minus t minus n 1500 minus r. Have we called it production? Probably haven't, but yes. Aha. So we can see there's been some problem. Now, is that because we haven't deployed that to account master, pull origin master? I mean, the other thing is, Armando talked about having, he talked about having these students working over the summer to be developing a new metric. And then I sort of thought we were going to be a situation where they were like, right, they would want to be writing that, and we would need to be having the docs to support them doing that. And we haven't written those docs particularly. I mean, we sort of talked his, and Jew, his other, just, we pointed him to the bits in the wiki that are there, but there hasn't been any follow-up on that. So I'm kind of like, oh, should we be being like craftsmen and making sure that there's good up-to-date documentation in, I mean, Project Scope, MVP, Project Metric, and the different ones? Or do we kind of sit back and just say, well, when they pressure us to do that, we'll do that for them? Mm-hmm. Then I guess, do you have strong feelings either way?
Not really. I mean, my impression was that those students weren't necessarily going to write the actual production code.
No.
They were, quote unquote, researching like pure ideas.
Agreed. And I think it wouldn't necessarily be them who wrote the thing, but like maybe this other student now. I mean, I guess well, it's this sort of general paranoia that I have about, are we? I think overall, well, anyway, you don't want to listen to me agonize about.
You think overall what?
I think overall that we've got a big improvement on where the system was originally as a monolith to have the gems. I think there are there's room for improvement in the gems, and I think there's almost certainly room for improvement in the documentation. But I guess, yeah, I mean, the critical thing really focus on here is the scheduler needs to be running, and I think I'm a little bit unclear about which things are deployed to which items there. I think probably I made a mistake there in that what I did was I had put the latest code onto staging, and then I put the scheduler on the production thing, and that's why we're seeing that error there. That it's interesting. There's other sorts of errors in there as it tries to grab assets. Anyway, I guess the thing there is there's almost certainly no reason not to just merge staging into master and just get a clear master. I think that was the other thing, was that Joao had done his pull request on master. So like there was the Agile bot that you put the staging onto master. So here we've got staging. That's up to date. If I get checkout master, git, I should get replace staging there. Yeah, and then git push origin master. Yep, and then I could do git push origin master. And I could do let's see, another window, can I simultaneously? Oh, I know I'm gonna have to check out staging to do that. Would I? No, that's irrelevant, isn't it? Git check out staging, and I could do git push staging master. So I guess one of the things is, if we're going to end up carrying on doing development on this, is getting it set up so that, getting it so that we've got, a more complete build pipeline. But I guess that's something that we should probably do. It may turn out that who knows, that Armando actually doesn't even want to use it, this system, and so kind of like doing loads of things up front there are probably not the way to go. I guess that the thing that makes me slightly nervous is that I can't. It's not, the fact that this one is updated and it's referring to the latest thing. I just like a timestamp there or something. And I guess is that potentially so fast to put in that we should just sort of do it and I shouldn't agonize about it?
Maybe. I think you want a timestamp for your metric.
Well, yeah, potentially. I mean, in some ways it would be almost just a thing to, like, at the moment we've got this appearing in the same thing, is just to break them into, there could be a break between the what's it called, a break between the image and the number, and then the number could just have the time on it afterwards, couldn't it?
Yeah.
So even I could just quickly spike that on staging for my own purposes. I mean, it's really about doing paranoia, which is this 38. So that would be git checkout minus b 38 show timestamp, and then if we're looking at this, yeah, I think that's the thing to do, is just quickly do that, and then we can move on and look at other things. So have a look at then. This is mine. Other stuff should go away. So I've got the projects at the moment. I mean, the key one is this. Let's show the project. It's the index, which we've got in Haml. So at the moment, inside we've got there. That's the, what do we do here? So we've got these two lines here for the number and then the image, and that's interesting there. I mean, Haml's always still a little bit to me. Now does that equal end up then referring to both lines? I mean, this is like a line of, when we do this in Haml, this refers to like a line of Ruby, right? I mean, we're basically interpolating as if into the string. So so we could in principle just be switching the order of this. It doesn't make any difference.
Maybe.
I guess sensibly, I run that locally. That's deployed there. I also deployed there. Staging. Stage drive base code. Check on the schedulers again tomorrow. I've got two things here. Here's the one I've. Yep. Okay, so I can let's run a server here. So this is. Okay, so I have to do that locally as well, right? Okay.
Your settings not set locally.
Okay, so right, what I need to do there. I think you can just do it like this. So that's the environment thing that we set.
Yeah, just whatever you want. No.
Is this. So we just do that.
Should work.
Something like that.
Or Put it before the bundle.
Yeah. I thought I was able to do it afterwards in the past. I usually do it at the beginning. I was thinking, oh, that was a stupid, unnecessary thing of mine. But does it need quotes?
No. I believe so.
Yeah, but so, and what we've done is with this, we've got dot. I could put this in my local .env, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So that didn't quite work.
Didn't have the effect that I was hoping. Okay, that's interesting, isn't it? Okay, I think this is the thing about Haml, is that if you are going to do an actual
Ruby computation, then you have to put equals, I guess.
I guess the equals and the interpolation are actually kind of equivalent. Are they like one or the other? I think they are. So I think in that case, the equals is probably better. So we've got those two lines. So if I want to insert a line break there, I could just be doing like this, couldn't I? And that would make it look like that. Okay. And then if I also wanted the date, so each of these, we've basically got, I guess, is there an issue there that the date of the metric sample is not available? We've got a sample there. Does the sample have an updated at? Maybe. Yeah, it does. Okay. So then we just like to format that in a relatively simple one. Format date in Rails. Strift time. Example. Yeah, that's the full thing. So short form. So we do like strift time, for example. Yeah, bit like that, and then not totally loving that, but yes. Looks like it doesn't actually need that EM thing. No. Okay. It feels like, well, just having them there. Yeah. That's the kind of thing.
Yeah. That will work.
Yeah. That's a, I guess all of these things are approximately centered, aren't they? In the row. Would they look better if they were all, if the row had them like, we go here and if the TR there, if that had text align, can we do bottom? Probably not. How do we get align CSS text in table row bottom? We did the center bottom. I don't care about center bottom so much. Vertical align bottom. No, wasn't there? There we go.
Huh.
I think that looks slightly better.
Yeah. Maybe
I mean,
that other one's still stuck up there for some reason.
I wonder here, does it have here, like on the image? But yeah, I mean, the SVG itself has the white space within it.
Hey.
I think, I mean, there's a BR. Which BR is that? That's our BR. Yeah. Like, yeah, I think that the, yeah, I think that's probably specific to that. Because when I select the SVG itself, we can see the size of the SVG.
Yeah, do you want to open the ticket for that?
Yeah, that's Slack Transmetric. Well, do you want to open a ticket for that? And I will.
Well, I don't have the image.
Okay. Yep. Fair point. So I'm looking for now. This is the Slack trends. GitHub. We'll call it ProjectMetrics Slack trends. Issues, new issue. Too much. This at bottom of image question mark. Okay. Okay. So that's opened.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of want to just like add something that says like, I guess it's obvious that it's the time in the first instance, isn't it? I guess that they'll want an overall, but yeah, I guess if we're moving quickly, so there's that spike there. So the key thing was that I added vertical align to the TR element. And so, see now, good practice tells us that this TR, we should now be doing, you know, adding like a style. But it's yeah, which is, and that style should be, I mean, I guess we're in this context here where it's just, this is the projects thing. I guess actually what we could do, we could just make it so that all of the TRs have vertical align bottom in that page, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Would that be a, and that now, okay. Yeah. So, well, I think that's a little, you know, that's just a sort of a spike that satisfies some of my paranoia there. What I'd like to do with that is I would like to spikes showing some time stamps in the view. Push origin 38 show timestamp. And what I'm tempted to do there is git push staging 38 show timestamp master. And then that means at least when I circle around tomorrow and I try and look at staging and see if there's been an update, I'll be able to quickly see whether that's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I guess I will just say to, well, I've got that ready to give Armando, and that's, I won't. I'm going to just get rid of that and say, where is Armando? Got I guess what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check. There's this way of structuring a URL so that the authentication goes. If I open a, can I open a? Oh no! What happened there? Oh, that was weird. I was just trying to open like an anonymous window, and the key cord that I used in Firefox opened a Hangout for some reason. I'm just trying to do it. I need HTTP on the front. What's that? There's supposed to be. This is like. There's a way to put the HTTP auth in URL. Seen this before, right? I just got the wrong way around. No, that's the right way around. Yeah, you have the colon first. Oh, and I wonder if we've got characters in it that let's try that again in. Oh, it works in Chrome, just not Safari. Okay. Okay. So
wish I had more time to spend of my PairProgramming robot. On my PairProgramming.
Yeah, it's on my PairProgramming robot. See, and then it won't let me edit these things now. Yeah. I need obviously another layer of review on these things. Actually, that's not my. Go away, that one. Ja. Okay, so well, so we could switch from that to thinking about website one and what we might like to work on there. But I'm such a. Is it having done that update? No, it's gone. Right, leave it. Leave it. Okay, I don't think that's the right thing. Because I've got my Mondo backlog, which is that I previously talking about getting a new intro video for part 2. Just sending this Slack post in email. I think we. Okay. All right. Concerns about project scope have been abated ever so slightly. Somebody is saying yes, it does on our. I think that's so our viewer. Hey, Lara is maybe commenting on our YouTube video stream. Lara, she's one of the Craft Academy students.
Okay.
I'm going to say thanks. Not sure.
I'm not sure where you're commenting on.
Well, I just like my email automatically updated, and it showed me that there'd been a comment on our YouTube stream.
Oh, okay.
And that's here. And so Lara has said, yes, it does. You were referring to. There's a delay on the stream. Slack might be faster, might be better. There used to be a nice Q&A feature But I think
maybe it shows referring to the vertical line, but
it may well have been. Anyhow, because we've got appropriately meta. So let's, in that sense, look over here. And so at least we were working yesterday on the Stripe card reset functionality, and we've got a pull request in. And we mentioned some things yesterday about should we improve the error message, and there's the error message that goes to the log, and there's the error message that goes to the user. Should we look at that at least briefly?
yeah.
So I'm going to bring my website one. And you're more than welcome to drive on that if you want.
I'll let you drive for the moment.
Okay. Do you remember the branch number?
Let me look it up.
Oh, I think. Oh no, it's not. We have our sequence, don't we? 164. Oh, maybe I haven't pulled it out. I won't have it yet because it was on your machine.
So it was 1266 or 1264. Sad path for change credit card.
Right. I should have just run. I didn't actually have it locally. I should have just run. Oh God. And I can tell from the number that it's 3. Yeah, as you know, we got interrupted in the same way previously and the other day, and I said, "Don't call me, don't call me." But these people who are on scripts and being paid to be like robots. Anyway, right. So, I guess what I should certainly do there is quickly run all the tests. That's this window. So 1. So let's go here. So the place we were changing is in the charges controller. And so now you're setting a flag to indicate this. I want, do we even need the full statement?
I don't know.
I think probably not, but we can test that separately. I guess that you were mentioning it would be sensible to update this error message just to say which user we were referring to and so on.
Yeah, for our logs, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
actually send an email to you.
Right. There's one. I guess there's alerting us that it happens. I mean, I guess then there's a question of like, if we put, customer in here. People. Is that what frequency does that beeping go on in your room? Is it hourly?
Or so.
Is it very close to your microphone?
Fairly.
Yeah, it's I'd probably enjoy it being further away or slightly quieter. It's quite piercing. So, like, certainly from like assessing the log, one wonders is there just any information that would be going into the log there that shouldn't, in terms of the Stripe customer. I guess we could check that by running the scenario and coming in here. Feels like getting set up so that it alerts me would be, I mean,
sensible.
Yes, definitely sensible, but possibly a separate ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to like, there's that message there, and then there's also the message that we've got going to the person who signed up or trying to change their credit card, which will be somewhere in here, and we've got it as update. Yes, and I guess so. But this is probably sensible that we don't like. My instinct is to want to like display the full error message, but probably what we should just do Logi's. I think the thing here is probably just to it's href equals L2 for that. Yeah. So yeah, that's. I think that's going to be sensible. But yeah, so we should probably just, like, before making this change, just check that we are not dumping inappropriately sensitive information into the log. Of course, I'm by kicking off the entire suite in the background, but I guess so. We've got air brake in place. I guess the question, I wonder if, if the error is rescued, air brake will not be activated.
Probably not.
So we could probably add an issue here, which would be alert admins if credit card change attempt fails. Check if we can do via air brake or set up another mechanism. We have 2 viewers. Welcome, 2 viewers. I wish there was a clear setup so that we just had a nice little chat room for the viewers. Anyway, okay, so I've had an issue for that. We're just going to have a look at this before doing that. Potentially, this is another ticket that I was enjoying yesterday, kind of working on small things and then moving on. I thought that was nice. So while we're waiting for that test suite to pass there, we've got to this one. That's pretty much ready for please check there. This now, let's go through all the tickets in here. I guess I've got a like an Agile bot thing there, but it's like, should we be checking for test coverage? Should we use Yak back? I think it's not in progress. It's not estimated. I think I'm gonna put that back into the thing over there. So there's a documentation thing. We had this thing was like, this is also relating to errors actually. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so that ticket that I just created, see also 980. We would like in various instances, if remote jobs fail, to alert admins. E.g. credit card update fail, Slack invite fail. So there's kind of a little nexus of stuff there. Interesting. Okay. And there was diagnosing this memory leak, which Pretty was saying, no, it was 2012. Which I think, I guess there's just a thing there which is like, we could run bundle updates. Yeah. I mean, right this second, we're not encountering these issues, so I guess it would be nice to go to yeah, I it like somebody wants to do a PR for a new relic gem update. I noticed that SO from 2012, but still worth a try. Okay. so that's everything that was in the in progress column. We're not tied to any of that. Everything's green there. So I was just going to run that test, which is in charges activity. I was also thinking actually here, as this increases, there's kind of like the card details. That's almost, or it's almost worth creating a folder here and splitting it out. It's borderline, isn't it? But let's focus on. So it's these three change. It's not change membership. That's actually change card details, isn't it? So the one that we want to run is on line 43. Features charge 43, and I've got my bug breakpoint in there for hookingness. Okay, well, okay, so we're in here. So what would the customer be at this point? The customer would be nil. Okay, that's in this case. So yeah, but the situation that we're handling there is that, I mean, that's the error we've encountered. So the customer might be nil. So I guess more interesting to us, that's in that particular test thing that we're not. Let's continue that. So more interesting to us is running the same test, but for when it's at 36, when there is actually a customer. And so I've broken it by changing that. And I think let's just remove that. So okay, so that's all. It didn't, right? Okay. So what's the version there where it's got so blah, blah, blah. So what I need to do if I want to actually kind of look at what's going on with the customer, I need to put the bybug in there, don't I? Oh, I was in a fascinating JavaScript Jabber this morning, in which
What?
I was listening to JavaScript Jabber this morning. They were talking about Elm. You know Elm?
No, what is that?
It's like CoffeeScript. It's another JavaScript. It compiles to JavaScript, and it's that's why has that ended up there? Oh, is it because I had it at the end of that one? Can I still see the customer in that context? I can. Yeah. Yeah, Elm, and they were just it's I think like Haskell. They're just saying like it's simpler than Haskell. It's functional, and that basically they've had no production bugs for this whole year of running it because it just all the compiler catches everything for them, which sounds wonderful. But yeah, so say again.
No, go on.
So for example, like I think if we dumped, for example, the entire customer object to log, then it would basically put things in the log like the last 4 digits of a credit card, which are probably not a good thing to be putting in the log.
Yeah.
Probably the sensible thing to be doing here is, rather than dumping the customer object, is, but in this context, when we require the user to be logged in, don't we?
We have a current user.
Yeah, so it would make more sense, wouldn't it, to
I mean, you could sanitize the log. I mean, you could sanitize it for you, but anyway.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the log is stored in Heroku, and Heroku is supposed to be secure, and so on.
No, but I mean, you could sanitize. You could write. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's true. It's another level or something. I think probably for
another method that would actually go in and sanitize that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one could pick out the certain aspects of the customer that would. I mean, being in here, we know current user is not going to be nil. Customer might be nil. So this is actually probably more useful. And anyhow, yeah. So I'm just gonna see if I remove that false thing. Can I now? If we continue on that one. I just want to let's run a suite of things for those guys. And hopefully see it will be green. And then I would think we can kind of say we're maybe done with that pull request for the time being. Can encourage Raoul to get that pushed out. I guess the unless I have broken it with that false thing. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, I've changed it. Apologies, but something has gone wrong with you. Ba la 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 la. What is that one? That one's 43. So that takes us on. We've got things in our ready column, consistency of sponsors links, adjusting what gets shown on the event page when the event is live. That's a bug about the video link not being available that Sasha was looking at briefly. Live events should be first-class citizen. That's changing the navigation for events. That was that geolocation issue, which I think is seeming to have been solved. At least no one's complaining about it at the moment. How to create an event should be more obvious. Right. There's the tweet thing with the YouTube link sometimes not working. Right, linking karma numbers. Okay. Yep. There are things we voted on. Project list sort order. Right, that was the thing that Free Ranger was talking about. Starting Hangout from Slack. Get mention of which Slack chat room to go on every project page. Okay.
So tomorrow you won't be around, or
I'll be around in the earlier part of the day.
like
so,
the earlier part of the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've got the local support client meeting at my 11, and
yeah.
So I mean, in principle, we could be doing some pairing. You know, like, I mean, this time tomorrow, I might be available for like 15 minutes to talk to. Would be this time tomorrow would be the website one meeting, so okay. We can have 15 minutes, and then I would have to go. But before that, I mean, this chunk of time, you know, we might have an hour or two.
Are you? Well,
go on.
You doing soccer or something? Is that?
Oh they've got this event at my son's school, which is that they do at the end of the first 2 weeks, where we're invited for our child to show us around the school. Kind of part of the introductory welcome. It's like
or high school or whatever.
Yeah. So there was a welcome evening on Wednesday. I got my wife went to that, and so I'm going to go to this thing on Friday. So that's interesting. I mean, we've got. So the interesting thing there is, I feel like we should be able to do. Well, what has it done here? It says modified. It's made modifications to those YAML files. but maybe because we've gone through additional error states. And we've got these YAML files here. I guess, yeah, rather than mucking around, what I should just do is add specifically the git adds this one. And just push that up on the branch, and then see what the -am. So this is basically adds a little more to the error messages. Git push 4. Okay. So I think having done that, we can probably pop that into there.
I'm pulling that down.
Say again?
I said I'm pulling that down.
Oh, cool.
I am. Well, I was, but I don't know what Git's doing.
Okay.
Oh. Took a while. Just run the cubes in the background.
This would be like now, I guess so in my mind, you know, I'm debating about other things we could start doing related to the premium features, you know, we're talking about tracking, and there's lots of exciting and different things. And I guess, you know, in terms of keeping our process on track, what we should, I mean, like, the question that I would love to have answered is like, you know, which are the 3 things that if we got done would, you know, make the most substantial difference to our, you know, the number of people that we were making happy and the amount of revenue coming in. But I think there's an extent to which we just can't know that.
Right.
And so in some ways, like, you know, it's tempting to kind of say, oh yes, excite, oh, that thing we just thought of, right? Let's work on that. And we kind of like, without estimating it with the team, we kind of promote that and do that and sort of force it through the pipeline. And I mean, maybe that's something that one does in an emergency. But I think in terms of making the board manageable, probably it makes sense to address things that are in the in progress column. Because by addressing them, we kind of clear that out, and it reduces the sort of cognitive overload of work for people coming into the project about working out what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the bigger question, of course, becomes, you know, which thing to work on. But I think, yeah, since we're here and looking at it, the thing that comes in here that I'm just thinking that the memory leak thing, we're about to go into, you know, another run of the course where there'll be more people opening sessions and so on, and that memory quota exceeding thing is going to potentially become a more serious issue. And I'm just thinking it makes sense to maybe have a little stab at this before, like, you know, before we try and do more complex telemetry from the pairing sessions. Like, it would be good to, I mean, this might potentially be quite a quick fix,
right?
If it's just a question of upgrading a few gems. But so it's probably worth. This would be like, if we're serious about putting in, other new functionality, we should clear up things like this, shouldn't we?
Potentially.
Go on.
I'm just wondering how we're going to actually figure this out.
Well, I think what we could do is just that we could get a pull request in, based actually really figuring it out and testing everything might be really, really complicated, but we can do like a little particularly what the suggestion, the new relic gem might cause problems. So we could, if we were working on this, we could just have a look at what version of new relic gem are we using. We could just try updating that. We could get a pull request in for that, and we could try and do a deploy to to Roku, because Sam Pretty was saying he was getting like a resting state fail for anyway. Do you want to drive on that?
Yeah, I guess I'll drive.
Cool. So it's 1172 is the ticket.
The hell happened? I actually got a failure.
Oh yeah.
On the new charge activity. Expected to find text your card details have been successfully updated. When it says apologies, but something has gone wrong with changing your card details.
Okay, so I screwed something up. Or maybe I left a debug statement in there or something.
I guess you didn't run your sweep.
I didn't run. Well, I ran the whole set.
Oh, really?
I mean, of that, the charge activities one. I didn't run the entire suite because I thought the CI will do it for me. But what line number was that? That was the one that just failed for you?
It was 41.
Oh, really? You say 41? Oh, that's 36. If that passed for me, I'll run it again. Yeah, it's green for me. That's weird.
Failing. I think I started with a clean staging, so.
I guess
you have stuff in there. You have changes and stuff, right?
I mean, I have some. There's some mess. But I
have an uncommitted cassette too.
Maybe I didn't commit the cassette.
You just deleted it too.
Maybe I should have. Let me run that. Right, but I was sort of specifically not adding those cassettes because basically I hadn't changed anything that would impact the way in which like it shouldn't impact there shouldn't be any additional or any changes in the requests to the third-party Stripe server.
You're getting the same failure now.
When I run it in batch.
But you also just deleted your update.
Right. But then it would recreate it. But
I don't know what was in that cassette. How that cassette came about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to need to check out that.
I mean, what did you just changed the log, right?
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah,
Oh, I took the false out.
right. Yeah, I mean, that's now. So, but I think what I want to do is, what I should do is I should check out the cassettes directory.
It might be the false. Removing the false might have done it.
Conceivably. Yeah, I mean, the mess of this makes me also then think about a further investigation of okay.
No, it's still failing. That's interesting.
I think what I want to do there is remove the fixtures directory and get clean, or at least there, and then check back out the fixtures directory. Right, and now I'm clean. Now, oh God. Yeah, I mean there's this gem for stripe testing which would stub the system at a lower level that I wonder if it might be might make more sense.
Oh, you also changed the scenario name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So, right, what I would sense, God, that's annoying, isn't it?
You can't just change scenario names without, being careful about it.
Well, I think one should be able to.
No, but that's not how it works with.
Well, that's not that the setup that we have with VCR is that they're tied to the scenario name. Yes. So this is charge users money, and we've got users. There we go. Okay. So it was membership, and it's actually. So what I can do here is I can refactor this and rename this to card details. Okay, skip that. I'll delete the. And then change that to card details. Okay. Why is that now? Now there, I've renamed that, and it says untracked files. User decides to change card. There's like a directory. Okay, so in the request cache, we're also now we've set it up so this. So we've got this. No, yes, I want to delete that because the membership one was the original one. And so that becomes card details. So, right. I guess that you can in you say don't just change the scenario names. I guess.
I said you can't do it without being careful.
Well, I was going to say it makes sense to make sure that when we initially create scenario names, that they are an accurate reflection of what's going on in the scenario.
Huh.
Okay. Yes, so that's all green for me now. But the other thing, and I noticed on local support on some other pull requests, is that it's not ideal that then as part of the pull request, we've got X many renamings.
Yeah.
Updating features file folder names to match scenario in correction. Good God. What it makes me think is that maybe probably the majority of people who are actually bothering to test their Stripe credit card things are using this kind of mocking gem rather than doing it at the network level like we are.
Uh-huh.
Which is less, realistic, but there's a question there about whether the overheads that we have from this more realistic test setup are worth the trouble that it causes.
All right, I'm just going to run that feature. All right, so the thing we were originally trying to work on.
We were talking about maybe that we were just going to update the new relic gem.
Yeah.
So that's green now for you, is it?
Yes. So I can check out develop. What was the ticket number?
The ticket number was 1172.
We're just going to call it upgrade new relic.
Yeah, why don't we? Yeah, let's start with that. That would be what we'll end up.
All right.
And we could call it diagnosing.
So new relic RPM, right? I guess that's a lock file.
So.
New relic. So we're locked at 315.
Okay. Yeah, and we can ask what
RPM. What are we at? 316 is now the new thing.
Yeah.
315 to 317. So we were locked in as of April.
Yeah.
We could go to the latest.
That would seem appropriate.
So I would just do bundle update new relic.
RPM, I would have thought so.
Relic RPM. There we go. So just add that. Does Heroku actually obey the lock file anyway?
I believe it does.
It does. Wasn't there a thing where it didn't before and then?
Was that?
I thought like it was just some kind of thing that had to be included, but it didn't actually obey it.
I thought it was actually following it pretty strictly. Was my impression. I mean, the thing that I was noticing is that what seems to me is that when we deploy a node project, that there is no lock. That
Right.
it's gonna. I mean, I would like to investigate that further and know, maybe is it the case that there's something to do with the build files on Heroku that do lock it in somehow. But
so what do we want to do with this? We want to.
Well, I would open a pull request, and what would be nice is if we were on local support, we've got it set up so that all of our pull requests are automatically put onto staging, like they're deployed to Heroku automatically. But I guess we haven't got that. We haven't got that set up, and that's probably getting sidetracked. It's
I thought we were actually going to deploy this.
Yeah, to Heroku. I'm just saying that, like, making a pull request on local support would make the automatically deploy to Heroku for us. I guess we haven't got that set up on website 1.
Request deployment to a developed PR.
All right. We do have it set up. So then that will try and deploy it for us, and potentially we can go and look at the logs for that deployed instance. And
yeah, it's request. It's doing it right now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it'll take a while to do it.
I think it has to pass semaphore first, right?
Yeah, I think it probably does.
So we could look at what else there is to do while we're waiting for that.
We could, yeah. I was just gonna look at. I guess we've just been on that one because I'm just reflecting that I hadn't looked at. Okay, so this is the one that we worked on yesterday. Yeah, we can see the deployment of. Oh, right, and there we go. That's the deployment of the one with the fix for the mobile view. And if we look at that like that, yeah, there we go. Cool. That's very helpful. Yeah. Okay, so we're just waiting for that. Yeah. Well, that was relatively painless, wasn't it? I mean, at least moving towards that.
Cool.
Did it deploy already?
No.
Oh, no. They're just
looking at the old one.
Yeah.
It's got to pass the eye and everything. That's
good. Yeah. I was just gonna. This is. It's 1270 there. I was just gonna say in here. I'm updating new relic gem in 1272.
So does waffle come with maple syrup or?
Well, they just released a new bot that they probably should have called maple syrup. They obviously missed an opportunity there. Okay.
They don't grow. Do they have maple? Do they have maple trees in England?
I don't think so. We get a lot of maple syrup from Canada, I think. That's mainly that was one of the main reasons for the empire. I think was to annex the control the maple syrup production around the world.
So if there was like a trade war between you and Canada, you would suffer.
We'd be in deep doo-doos.
Breakfast would be ruined.
Well, quite. I mean, although it's ruined for me because I've had to. I mean, I used to love my what's the word? I forgot what the word is. My organic maple syrup. But the problem is that if I have my lovely organic maple syrup in the house, basically my children consume and spill it, and I can't bear the waste. So that's a whole other story. So I guess I'm thinking here then, because we've got this automatic Slack invitation is not working. There was this connection that we just drew between the fact that the problem that we've had a few times is that the Slack invitations start failing, and then we don't hear about it until, you know, users experience it. And that ability to kind of, you know, alert us if, you know, failures have taken place, seems to be, there was, you know, it's related to this, the credit card change attempt fail. Obviously we've got air brake, and air brake sort of seems to work, although it feels like you have to keep upgrading the air brake gem pretty frequently in order to make sure that it does. But it makes me wonder if we should just spend a little bit of time looking at, for example, well, I think I know why the Slack. So if we look at the Slack invitations thing briefly, he said, trying to find the Slack invitation service. That's not the Slack invitation. That's the Slack service for that notifications. So presumably this comes through. Yeah, we need to find the place. Is it in a job? It is. Right. So and I think that the issue here is that Slack, when you ask it for anything, it just returns, you know, it says 200 okay, but then sometimes in the body it will say that totally didn't work. But I guess here, I mean, we've got this perform operation here. What's that? Don't do that. Which is being, can I find the usages of that one? Yeah, I think, okay, so we've got a test of it there. But where have we got that in the job spec? Where is that actually called in the sequence of things? So if I just, let's find usages of that. No, not refactoring. Okay. Okay. Right. So we've got before. Okay. So we basically say perform this as an asynchronous operation.
Yeah. Sucker punch to do that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is then, if it fails, we've just got no, it just fails silently. And,
Right.
and we wouldn't want it to like prevent the user from logging in. But it seems like what we would like to have happen is, in the same way that the test, it's not just checking that it's a 200 response, it checks that it actually gets the okay response, or it's stubbed it with okay true. It would be nice if, and basically I mean, we're doing this, we're parsing the response body to get the, you might say that's the JSON response there. And we're throwing that away. It's not.
Oh. So can we try it with a bogus token, for instance, and see what it says? Like what the response is?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We could.
I guess if you don't want to do that, then.
Oh, no, wasn't saying I didn't want to do that. I was just reflecting on how this is, because I was reflecting on the way that we're testing it at this level. Is it just sort of
Right?
It's interesting. I mean, we could, in principle,
I mean,
test what you're. We could, if I just removed that and ran this test, that would do what you just said, right?
I'm not sure, but yeah, try it.
Yeah. So this is Slack invite job spec. I'm just going to get onto develop here. and I'm gonna git checkout -b. What's the name of this issue? It's 980. When invites fail. And so here, if we run that, right. So it fails in the way that we would expect. And we could slap a buy bug in here. And we can have a look at the response. Right. So we get.
So basically, if OK is false.
That's presumably it's. Yeah.
We want. Yeah.
Yeah. So just likely, we kind of want something that would say if
JSON response. OK.
But we almost want to kind of.
Unless JSON response. OK.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was just thinking that there's kind of we almost want to do like a rescue and finally clause.
Do we?
I think so, because there's kind of, like there might be a JSON parsing error or what have you. There's almost.
Right.
Sorry, I may be making it more complicated than it needs to be. Can we, I don't know, rescue and finally? There's ensure, right.
We can use try.
Yeah.
We can use try to try.
Right. I'm just, we could do, but I'm thinking about
that's JSON, well,
catching all the things that go wrong. So basically, like, even if there's an error, we can go for this ensure thing. We can just do the thing. So we could basically say we can ensure that still won't catch the error. Yeah, sorry. What's the? So this we should be doing here. I'll just like should alert admin, and we've got ensure. Now these things can be one line back, and then it's So you're. I mean, I was thinking if JSON response nil or JSON response, we're saying that's OK, not equal to true. What were those the options? Sorry. OK and true. It's true. I guess is it a Boolean? Can we just do that?
Boolean value, right?
Right. So we kind of. I mean, I'm just sketching it out. Basically, we've got sort of a situation like this that, if any kind of error has occurred, we should be alerting the admin. And if, and even if there wasn't an error, we should be checking the final condition. And I guess probably the way to move forward on this, what I should sensibly do for this is we could be defining that in terms of basically we've got no sad parts here, have we?
Right.
So I might just put these in as, so basically, when attempt errors, we should notify admin. And then also, we've got venting. And Slack responds not okay. What? Good grief. When Slack responds not okay, should notify admin. And I guess I'm just thinking, should we get clear on what's the mechanism that we use to notify the admin? Do we have an existing thing in website 1 for notifying admins of important events? We have it in local support. I don't think I've ever received anything from website 1 saying things have gone wrong, except through Airbreak.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But and is there a kind of Rails I mean, back in the day, I seem to remember
What should wake you up in the middle of the night?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess it's just, you know, it's just, I mean, we kind of custom rolled. It doesn't look very, yeah, doesn't look very. I mean, I guess what we do for the admin emailing in local support is we just
roll our own,
don't we? We got an example of that, because we've got, like, if someone does an invite, I think with those invites we just CC people, don't we? But then when somebody, we have situations where people, what do? They come in, if they like request,
like for instance, if someone signs up,
yeah, or if I don't, yeah, do we do that? If somebody actually signs, we haven't got a registrations controller. There we go. We don't. Yeah, if somebody, so we've got the send email about request for admin of, and so we've got basically we've got an admin mailer to mail the admin.
Yeah.
So we've got an admin mailer that's just set up to do those things. So maybe that's all that we need. Rails admin mailer.
That's not like, that's just what we called it.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just wondering if there's
framework or anything. It's just
yeah. No, I know. I was just and I'm thinking that's clearly, we can clearly do the same thing again. I was just wondering if somebody's like written a gem that's got like all that stuff, but no, I guess it's like there's nothing for the gem to do really. Basically, we've got, you know, if you want to create a if you want to send the admin an email, you just need to specify what those admin addresses are, and you have a few mail templates, and that's that.
I think you should have, I mean, we could roll a gem for it, but that would be kind of overwrought.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, we wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, I think that's not needed right now. What I was just, particularly after some of Thomas' comments previously, so we have a mailer, and the mailer at the moment basically supports these things, and so I think we want to Yeah, we've got a mailer. We've got a console mailer, which is for the newsletter.
Text messages too, right?
Well, that's yeah, potentially. You know, when you know we are employing lots of people to fix this for us. Yes. But yeah, so well, the kind of implication there is that we would want to have an admin mailer, and we would want to, if we go on like local support there, basically we could kind of expect admin mailer to be called like the. I mean, this is the big. I mean, we know how to create an admin mailer. We know that that's probably not going to be a big deal. So that allows us to get to the point where we can say that from this spec point of view, what we might have here, assuming that an error has taken place.
So for 14 a month, you can get 200 text messages on a Heroku Blower IO add-on.
Oh yeah.
Or you can just try it for $3 a month for 25 messages.
Yeah, what a way to spend money. There's a I forgot, it's not Mailgun. There's a Ruby texting solution that I've used many times before. Ruby text messages. And what is Twilio?
Is it cheap?
Twilio. It's a library, so I don't know if they come with a Heroku plugin and a plan, but you can send text messages to your own phone relatively easily, and then there are plans and stuff.
I mean, how would you send it to your own phone for nothing?
Because you can specify one number and they let you send it to your own phone for nothing.
Oh, okay.
But then if you want to start sending it to other people's numbers, then it costs money.
Okay. So we can just hook it up to send to your phone.
Yeah, and I turn my phone off when I'm sleeping. So, well,
arguably you should have it on. You know.
Well, we can take that up in a trustees meeting. But so we might have some. I'm just thinking here. We would have in this context would be. It's better to do it with a spot. If I create a. It would be about.
Once we have full-time people, you know,
Yeah.
in multiple time zones.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They'll all be getting text messages, and then they'll be able to, no matter what time of the day it is.
Yeah.
There'll be someone there to instantly.
Indeed. So I'm just thinking here. I guess the simplest way to do it is to go with expect admin mailer to receive, and then
correct.
So the way we can I see if can I find usages of
you
that
just
one?
define a method,
and it's exactly the name of. You don't have to say send or anything. You just call that method, and it's and then you call deliver now. So there's kind of a chain there. So we kind of in fact, actually, but we don't have to. I mean, you can anyway. That's we can start with that. But so we would expect it to receive. So this would be like failed to send Slack invite, or no, failed to invite user to Slack, like so. And then we would do what the operations here are. Basically, we've got a subject defined as a Slack invite job there. So we could take that and slap that in there. And so
probably want to close that receive. Anyway.
Yeah. Thanks. I guess in this, and I guess here, like in this thing, we would want to like do it and then like, can we do like and raise error? Isn't there? There's an RSpec thing. There's like
raise error.
Is that? Do we need the and or?
Yeah.
3.5.
Raise exception.
Right, but so that's like an expectation that something does raise an exception. If we want to, like, our spec have mock raise exception. There we go, raise it, that's what I want. And it's and underscore raise and then the exception class. So here I could be saying, we expect, in this case, I'm going to stub request. Is that stub request? Anyway, and underscore raise boom. So there we go. Yeah, I mean that would be a not inconsistent test with that. And then we could have a not dissimilar test like this, which would, in this case,
Returned.
Yeah, we would go and get like that, and we would say false.
Yes.
And so then I would just go over here and remove all of the stuff that I was adding there as we were just thinking about the problem, and run that test and expect to see some failures.
Probably the first failure will be that admin mailer is not defined. Okay.
Well, I think if I maybe I was wondering that if I've got the, oh god,
Interesting. Yeah, uninitialized constant admin mailer.
but did it hit on the by? I haven't got a by bug. Where's the by bug?
Maybe you didn't save it.
Oh, it's here. Yeah, okay. I thought I could just stub admin mailer and it would actually create the instance for me. But
No.
no, and I guess there, I mean, in Rails, we can generate a mailer. So, you know, rather than stubbing it or doing other things, one would imagine that I would just do this.
Yeah. Nope.
As a path of least resistance, because we know we're going to want an admin mailer. And then hopefully they should be able to fail for the right reason. Okay. Yeah. Cool. I mean, I think not necessarily exactly the right reason, but yeah. So I think I need to take a brief break to get a cup of tea and things now. This might be a good time to switch. I can git push origin 980. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll stop the hangout there, and I'll see you again in about 10 minutes or so.
All right.
Cheers.